around after we did have a little bit of technical difficulties. Just to recap what is exactly happened, we have had one match already played for this round one of the gauntlet, and we are going to continue on with the rest of this best of five. Now, I am, of course, your host, Son of Jupiter, and your caster as well. And joining me is Tico. Just in case you've just popped in now and you're not quite sure what's happening, we will bring you all of this action for our grand final. First up is going to be Southern Stars versus Relentless, and then we'll find out who is playing on next, because it is a gauntlet style match, so we don't actually know what's happening next. We just know what's happening right now.
Yeah, definitely. And so far, we've got this best of five happening between Southern Stars and Relentless. Relentless are 1-0 up in this best of five, beating them with a 4-3 scoreline, scoring that fourth goal. They were at a 3-for-3 tie, scoring that fourth goal 7 seconds before the end of the game. It was a little bit hectic, but it was off a huge clear. So have to give Exodus a big props for that.
Yeah, exactly. Big props for them, but they are itching to get back into this match and continue on. Southern Stars obviously on the blue side. Relentless going to be on orange, and it seems like Southern Stars win this kickoff.
Yeah, they do. Good control coming out from Kuma, but in comes String. A great shot, but an even better save coming out from Chris. Not going to stop them from trying, though, but it does stop. Chris does stop that attack.
Oh, Chris, nice stalking there on the ball, just forcing out some awkward rotation by the Stars, and it seems like for now, things do look a little bit tough for them, although Kevin does manage to get a couple of touches on the ball, but Kuma with a beautiful challenge on the goal line there. It's going to be Sour, who manages to get tripped up, still gets a flip reset to put the pressure on the ball, and a quick return, couldn't quite get the goal, but that was a very clean recovery.
That was a beautiful recovery, and I'd be really proud if I got that in the middle of my game, but we aren't them. These guys do it on the daily. String going up. He is not going to be able to get a second touch on that to get a double, but a great clear. Exodus is going to get a touch there. Kuma off the back of that as well. They're playing a rather aggressive game.
They are. Very aggressive start for the side of Relentless, not relenting on this challenge at the moment as they try to go for some offensive plays. Not successful at this point, but they are still looking for that first opportunity, but it's going to be Kevin getting the flick past one. As the second touch pops it high, Chris with the early challenge as well takes control of it with zero boost, manages to get a 50 into the middle, which Exodus takes a shot. String with the miss, Kuma with the shot, but it's wide. Exodus with the follow, and there finally for Relentless is the first goal.
Yeah, the 1-2-3 touch is definitely the aim of the game here. Kuma's touch was essential there in just delaying the ball, slowing it down, using his tires to get that off the back wall, to then have his teammate come in and clear it down towards the bottom, in towards the goal. Beautiful display of teamwork, and I want to see more of that.
Now Exodus with control of the ball, decides to take it up the wall, gets past one attacker and going to go for a second. Manages to get a nice little side flip there, but doesn't manage the control, although Kuma goes head first into that challenge, manages to get it away from Southern Stars only briefly, but now here's the return. Chris with the beautiful read from Exodus, and they're starting to open up.
That was a beautiful touch coming out from Exodus. Look at that. He sees where the ball's going. Chris is right there. Great communication between these two players. Exodus have to give a lot of props to him for that pass, for that assist, and Chris for a beautiful goal.
So far, it seems like Relentless benefiting a little bit more from this technical break than the Stars, but there's still plenty of time on the clock for them, just hitting that 3-minute mark now. Going to have Chris going for a shot, but Sour does get there as last man. Team bump is not going to be helpful for the Stars, although it seems like Kevin and Sour do recover quickly, and they're able to put some offensive play on the board. Bit of a trip there onto Kuma, but nothing that String can't handle.
Yeah, Chris trying to take a dribble, rather aggressive as well. I mean, that's their entire game plan right now. Just make sure that the 50-50 challenges are early. But String doesn't want any say in that one. He just wants to make sure that they don't get anywhere near his goal, score any more goals than have already been scored.
Exactly right. You don't want to concede any more at this point as we just passed the halfway mark. We need the Stars to get one on the board if they're going to keep themselves relevant in this match. Kevin now taking control of the ball up to the wall. He manages to get past the challenging Chris, and it's a double commit on the play, but it doesn't matter if there's 1, 2, or 3 of the Stars. They do manage to get that first goal after a nice dish by Kevin.
Yeah, that was a great clear coming out from Kevin, but the one thing I do have to criticize, with a double commit, if there was a clear, if Relentless had one person up there to clear that ball, no one was there for that, for the quick rotations, and they might have been able to score an empty goal. Thankfully, though, these guys have the skills to be able to take that and score a goal with it. Just have to make sure that there are chances that a good defensive line is going to be able to clear that.
Exactly. You want to take every chance that you have. A nice bump there by Exodus onto Sal. Cut that rotation. Now we're starting to see Relentless open up some attacking presence, but Chris getting a dem onto string has no benefit at this point. It forces out an awkward rotation, but it seems like Stars are still looking attacking minded as we see String getting a touch into the corner. Exodus decided to take control of it, but String's still there, puts it high. Kuma with the challenge, but is dangerously floating on the goal line. A double whiff from each team is not what we're going to see, and Kevin will look to clear it to the corner.
A bit of an unfortunate backflip from Exodus, or that was Big Brain letting his team come out and take that one. Kevin's in full control, tries to get a pinch with Sour, but that doesn't go really too well when Kuma's there to make sure that connection doesn't happen.
Chris getting a play up the field, but Kevin's on the wall waiting, and now Kuma opting to come out of that challenge. It could have been dangerous, but there's a lot of confusion on the goal line, and Sour takes advantage, equalizing the score 2-2.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate time for Relentless. The awkward bounce Exodus wasn't able to read. The rest of his team thought that he was going to be able to clear that one. Unfortunately, he did not, and they equalized the scoreline at 2-2.
1 minute and 6 seconds remaining, even scoreline. This is looking very deja vu to the first match, although this time it seems like Stars are on the back foot for the time being, although Kevin gets a nice play outfield. String trying to be relevant in this play, does manage a touch, but Kuma, very nice ball control. Look at the challenge there. He decided to leave it as one of the members, I believe Sour, went flying through. Open net opportunity for Relentless, and now we're starting to see the dominance that has been them in this new match.
It was fortunate that Sour wasn't taken out by that member rotating, but unfortunately he just wasn't quick enough to be able to get to that ball, and they do take a goal advantage. 40 seconds left. We know that the Southern Stars are capable of bringing it back to a 3-3. We'll just have to see if they're going to do it this game.
Exactly. Can they manage to get something on the board in the final 34 seconds off the clock? We have Chris in the corner getting a touch. Kevin challenging early, puts it in a dangerous spot. That's an open net opportunity. The big brain from Exodus, not the challenge there, as Kevin was ready for it. Sour is up though for the pass. Chris challenging early, and now the Stars trying to mount some kind of attacking presence. We have a touch there past the defender, but Exodus still big brain on the defensive side.
All they really need to do is their delay tactics now. They're making sure that the members around Southern Stars, I mean, they're getting touches, but they really are not going to be able to maintain the control.
Well, it's a bit of an opportunity. It is 0 seconds. People are still in the air, but that whiff tactically puts the confusion in the side of Southern Stars. They're not able to catch the ball. Relentless now going 2-0 up in this first round of the Gauntlet series for the grand final.
Yeah, well, they take this one. It's a best of 5, so they only have one more chance to come back into this. If they win the next game, then they have 2 more. But it is really up to Southern Stars to flip the switch, flip the text, turn a new cheek, whatever the saying is. They need to make sure that they are the ones taking action, because right now, Relentless don't really need to change much to win the next game.
Yeah, exactly. They do look a little bit more in control. What I'm finding from Relentless is they just seem to have more presence on the field. I feel like attacking-wise, they're both kind of even. They're definitely having some more opportunities. It just seems like, especially Exodus, I have to draw to him because he's made some plays and some decisions that have really caught the Southern Stars off guard, and it's helped them maintain their defensive side. So I feel like Exodus is definitely stepping up defensively, and that's helping them really hold that foundation in the back line. So hopefully they're able to continue that. And for Southern Stars, I feel like they just need to be a little bit more aware of the positioning that's happening, because they're being caught off guard a couple of times.
Yeah, they definitely are. With that first game, they were caught off guard with a magnificent clear from Exodus to bring them to that 4-3 advantage. And really, I'm not exactly sure that they recovered from that one. Yeah, they did really well in that second game, but they just don't seem to have as much presence as you said, as the Relentless team. They really need to sort of up their game, get to those challenges a little bit quicker. They're not playing a terrible game. They're actually playing rather well. But in saying that, they just need to make sure that they're getting to these challenges a little bit quicker and making sure that their teamwork presence is there.
Exactly right. And it's going to be everything on the line now. So it is a best of five, which means a team that does get this next win will progress through to round number 2, where there is a prize pool involved. The team that wins right now in this match, whether they win in this round or Southern Stars come back in a reverse sweep, they'll be guaranteed prize pool for third place. And that's exactly where they're going to be in the next match versus Hazard. So there's a lot riding on this match, more than just the fact of obviously, you want to progress through, but it's to have that, accumulation of, a prize pool, something that they've been fighting for at the end rather than walking away with nothing, which is what the fourth place finisher will get. So it's going to be a massive, massive game for Southern Stars. It's going to be high pressure. It's going to be a lot of anxiety, a lot of, stress attached with this match. But this is where the better players and the pro players, so to speak, really shine. It shows their finesse. It shows their decision making, how calm and collected they are. So they were able to progress through this very stressful moment.
Yeah, definitely so. I mean, I can't take anything away from the Southern Stars. They've been playing great. They got to this top 4 for a reason. We know that they're capable of playing against these teams, not just Relentless, but teams like Hazard. They are capable. I'm just waiting to see them bring it out.
Exactly. And that's the thing, they need to bring everything out. That can't hold anything back. No stops, just all forward. They need to show exactly what they're made of, because we've seen it. We've seen the Stars step up. In week 2 of the round robin, they went undefeated for that week after dropping every single map in the previous week. We know they can do it. We know they have the potential. It's just now whether they can actually, accumulate and show that to the audience, show that to the community that is currently watching, because everyone is obviously supporting their teams. And I know in the channel there's going to be some Southern Stars fans. I just briefly had a look and I saw the CEO Bullet sharing the love, sharing the spam in the channel right now. So we know there's support for the Stars. We need them to get around their team right now to show that they can do it and perform.
Yeah, definitely so. So we will see. Hopefully we have all teams joining rather soon. The last problem with the server, the problem with the last server, I think a couple people will keep Jesus, English is a hard language. I'd rather speak another one. But yeah, we're having a couple of the players were having problems with their ping on the previous server, so we are changing it over. Hopefully we'll get into it soon. Southern Stars really need to bring it back, because a reverse sweep, there's potential, but again, it's always odds stacked against their favor. And if it was the Hunger Games, they definitely would not come out on top.
I mean, yeah, definitely. Whenever there's an insurmountable task ahead of you, the end goal looks so far out of reach. But the thing that I tell myself, and what you have to tell everybody else, is you need to take it one step at a time. And that could be now getting the first goal, then getting the next goal, and then winning that first win on the board. So they need to take it in baby steps. They need to make sure that they make it achievable right now, because if they look at that end goal and they're thinking about the Rats in the final, then they're looking too far. They need to win right now in this match, and that's going to be the biggest factor right now. So it's a bit hard at the moment. We haven't got players in the lobby, so we are still waiting for one team to join in, and obviously some technical issues are happening as well. But it just gives time for, I guess, the Stars especially, and Relentless, to really focus on a game plan. What do they need to do to adapt? Because we've seen, Stars in the first match take control pretty early, and then unfortunately they did lose it right at the end there from an unfortunate challenge. And in the second game, they fell a little bit behind the pace. So now they can take a step back and actually go through and go, all right, what do we need to do to make this happen?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that we should take a page out of the Son of Jupiter book. Is like, even if you do take that step forward, you might have to take a step back, because just like the Sound of Music, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, that sort of thing. Even if you do take a loss in terms of a goal, you can't take another loss in the round. But if you're looking at the side of the Sun and Stars, take 2 goals, take 2 wins, and then if you do take a loss in a goal, that's still 1 step forward, just to make sure that you're taking 1 single step at a time to get to that point. And if it's just 1 goal, focus on that 1 goal to then be able to surmount that into, 3 goals in 1 game, 3-2, that brings you your first round. And then just every round at a time to be able to win this game. But, looking at that end goal, it's a bit rough. So just don't do that.
It is a bit rough. Still no players in the lobby, or at least not all the teams in the lobby. So that gives us an opportunity now to have a look at the prize pool. We talked about it a little bit earlier, how much this match means to the teams moving forward. So let's have a look at what they're actually playing for right now. So currently our prize pool is sitting at $335 Australian. Thanks to the community support out there. Much, much appreciated. And that's going to be split up into 3 sections. First place, taking out 60% of the total winnings, which is currently sitting at $201. And then third place going to be $100.50, and third place taking the remaining 10% with $33.50. But that number can go up. We're working on percentages here, ladies and gentlemen, and it is crowdfunded, which means if you want to see your boys win some more money, if you want them to have a bigger prize pool at the end of the day, !, donate in the channel right now. We'll bring you a context.gg link, and that'll give you all the prompts to follow. You must have an active account with them to be able to donate, but definitely do it, because with all these tournaments, it is community funded, and without the community, without the continuous support for the likes we have right in front of us, BlueBird Rivals and the BlueBird org, we wouldn't have tournaments like this. So definitely show your support and, get amongst it, because they do some amazing things.
Yeah, definitely so. Make sure you support your team as well. I mean, even if they might not win, they still are getting supported with the amount that you do donate, because it does encourage them to join more tournaments and make sure that they have another shot at the prize pools in those as well. So make sure you support your team, make sure you support the org, and that'll definitely help. But we have a large lull in the gap. So, Son of Jupiter, I do have a question. How excited are you? I have to fix my heater. How excited are you for the new season?
I mean, it's going to be interesting, because obviously with all the changes means that it's going to feel fresh, it's going to look fresh, and it's going to re-inspire a lot of people to again grind out. The fact that we've got a new rank, perfect. It means that we can grind it out as long as the distribution works out as well. There's no point adding a new rank if it's just going to replace the existing rank. So I feel like as long as they execute it properly, I feel like there's a lot of potential going forward. So I'm hopeful with this game. It is one of my favorite games to play. I'm very hopeful with what is going to be happening. But we have a bit of an update, ladies and gentlemen. We do have everybody in the lobby, which means we're going to start game number 3. This is do or die moment for the Stars right now. They need to win right here, right now, to progress through, to at least give themselves an option.
Yeah, but it does, and they are going out with a bang so far. They're putting a lot of pressure onto the Relentless side, but we all know the Relentless defense is unrelenting, so they need to watch out for that.
Exactly. We have nice pass there by String, meets Kevin, who puts it back down to String, and now Sauer's up for the challenge, but he can't quite hit the angle. Bit unfortunate there. He tried to go for the read. It was a tough shot, but now we see Relentless starting to mount some kind of pressure. Kuma taking a touch down to the middle, will have String follow up. He's going to put it into the corner. He's going to collect it himself. Gets the touch, gets the block as well. He's managed to do a lot with not a lot of boost, and he's keeping Stars in this attack. Kevin taking the shot. Sauer with the follow. He hits the post and pops out. No! The Stars could have walked away with goal number 1, but unfortunately, accuracy is not their partner right now.
No, right off the bat, though, we are seeing that they're playing really aggressive, and that is definitely one of the things that will turn it around, and String takes the first action.
All right, there we go. We finally have, after a barrage of attacks from the Stars, they do walk away with the goal. Chris there just not in a most comfortable position. Very awkward, and that allowed String to get a nice, easy goal. But this is where it's going to be the testing point. They now have the lead. Exactly what we said. Step 1 complete. Now they have to follow through with step 2 and beyond. Otherwise, it's going to be a tough ask. Kevin making a challenge onto Kuma. Exodus getting past 1, but now he has to give up the ball as String goes for the challenge. Kevin now putting a shot out forward. String, can he manage a touch? He gets past 1. He hits the post. No, it pops out again.
Unfortunate touch coming out from him, but it does put it in the right track. However, a quick counterattack coming out from Relentless. They're going to try and flip the script. Unfortunately, they have a solid defensive line. They haven't had too many opportunities in terms of scoring another one, but Sauer says it's my turn.
All right, well done by the Stars. This is exactly the start that they would want as we get into that first minute and 30 of gameplay down. They currently have a 2-goal lead thanks to Sauer, but this is where they need to maintain. We've said, yes, they can be in the lead, but they need to maintain their pressure, and it seems like they have a renewed energy about them and a bit of momentum going their way as well. As we see Kuma getting past one, has to go for the challenge, but Kevin going straight for the demo. This is dangerous, but it seems like for now Relentless able to clear the pressure, but only briefly, as we have the Stars looking to pounce. Kuma in the corner has to make a careful touch, gives it straight to Sauer, who unfortunately doesn't put it in the right spot, and Relentless now should be able to hold out.
Yeah, it's not looking too good so far for Relentless. They don't have the boost, they don't have the pressure to be able to get a clear like that one. But also they need to send a couple members up to, finish the ball, put it in towards the end of the goal. So the pressure is all in the favor of the Southern Stars. Watch the good clears, the teamwork passing up forward. They have the opportunities and they are taking these goals.
Ooh, touch there by Kevin. Could have been dangerous, but Chris now looking to take control of the ball. Nice challenge there by String, just to alleviate some of that pressure. Exodus whiffing that ball, unfortunately gets demoed for whiffing it as Kevin was rotating through. He's now going to go for an infield pass, but it was easily read by Kuma. Sauer, last man, has to be careful. Manages to get a little touch there on the wall, but he's collected boost. He has boosted ball. He gets past 2, gets past 3. Into the shot on net, and Sauer getting a helpful little bump from a teammate there to clear the last defender will get the 3rd goal.
It's the Sauer game, this one. He's put so much pressure onto the defense, and beautiful teamwork play coming out from the rest of his team as well. Just making sure Relentless aren't getting any touches on the ball, making sure that the pressure is definitely felt onto the defensive line of Relentless. They probably will be taking this 3rd game away.
It looks to be that way at the moment, but there's still 2 minutes of gameplay, and we've seen crazier things happen, especially in certain regions like Asia. We saw Relentless going for a crazy spree of goals in the final minute, so we can never discount a team out completely. As we see Kuma gets a nice demo onto the back line there, but String will dead the ball in the forward corner with no boost. Allows Kuma to get a touch and the boost as well, which is a massive play for him. Gets the flip reset, gets a double flip reset actually. Manages to mech all the way across the field to put the pressure back onto the Stars, although we do have a couple of whiffs on the goal line. A bit of an awkward bump there actually works out for Relentless for the time being, but there's a miss by Kuma, and now Sauer taking control. He's got the boost, pops it up, has to go for the play, but Exodus with the save.
Yeah, Chris trying to take the control now. He gets it past String. Last member is Kevin, and he's going to be able to do that. Chris taking the 1st goal for his team with 1:11 remaining.
Nice play there for Relentless. They're starting to get themselves back into this match, but they only have 1:11 seconds remaining to get themselves at least 2 goals, and that's just to equalize. That's not to win. And that, for them, could be a hard task, but we'll have to see as the time does tick down. Sauer off the backboard, looking to get his own read, but Exodus was already up, and now it looks like Relentless trying to take control, but a few members very awkward, out of position. Luckily for the Stars, they're able to take possession. Kevin now getting a couple of touches, but 0 boost, has to pull out.
Yeah, well, they are putting themselves in awkward spots, and I feel like that's one of the reasons why they're not able to get this ball past halfway, but with a little bit of a whiff, Exodus does remain in control. Does miss that corner boost, though.
Oh, this is dangerous for the Stars. That could have been an opportunity for Relentless to come back into this, but it seems like for the time being, Exodus just doing a lot of work to keep this ball locked into the blue side of the field. It's up to the Stars to try and move it out as String does a flip reset, but doesn't go anywhere, unfortunately. And this is dangerous now. Chris getting a touch in the middle. Exodus whipping the ball. This could be it. No, Chris luckily gets a touch onto there because the Stars were away if he had missed.
Yeah, but they are just delaying this game now, and I feel like that's definitely what Southern Stars need to come back into this, because they've basically solidified their win for this game. They solidified it at about 20 seconds left when they're like, all right, let's just shut this game down, make sure that nothing happens off the back of it. So they are at a three goal advantage, and then just say, all right, let's slow it down. There's no way Relentless is going to be able to come back into this, and they did that beautifully. They did it so well, and Relentless now have to be the one that flips the script to come back into the game.
Exactly. It's up to Relentless now. After they did have all the momentum, they did have all the pressure to now get back into the match, since Stars were able to claw back that 1 series point. So we're sitting in an interesting situation now, 2-1 in favor of Relentless. But it's very much a Stars game at the moment. They looked very strong in that third match. They looked very convincing. They got 3 good goals. Towards the end there, they seemed to pull the pedal off a little bit. I don't know if that was a tactical move to make Relentless feel like they were coming back into the match, but now they're going to capitalize on some extra pressure. I don't know. But all I know is we do have a series on our hands. It's not going to be a sweep. We are going to game 4 as soon as we get back into this lobby. We're going to have Stars try and pull off a reverse sweep potential. And it's definitely within their wheelhouse. They are very much able to do so as long as they keep themselves consistent, keep playing the way they played in game number 3 because it's working.
Yeah, definitely so. I do think that they need to maintain this pressure because that's how Southern Stars won that game. It's they put so much pressure onto Relentless's backline that it didn't allow them to get any good clears. And I sort of feel like it got into their heads as well because they weren't in the right positions to be able to get those clears. And I mean, even when they did, they didn't have the amount of force or the power to be able to back it up and say, hey, we can score a goal off this.
Exactly. You know, it's I always draw back to this, but accuracy is going to be the biggest thing. Sometimes it's better to be accurate than it is to be powerful. Yes, smash the ball as hard as you can if you're going for a clear. But when it comes to a shot, accuracy, getting that placement is going to be the most important thing. Because if you can catch a defender off in their positioning and you can capitalize on that, it doesn't matter how hard you hit the ball as long as it goes into the right spot. So I 100% agree. If they're able to, be accurate, hit the ball as hard as they can without losing that accuracy, they will have a few more opportunities. But this is going to be the test for both teams now. It's going to be a high stress, high impact situation. Game number 4 on our hands, and Sour looking to get started early with a flip reset, manages to take it, but Kuma gets the read.
Yeah, a beautiful read coming out from his team. He does cause a miss or a whiff from the rest of his team. A great clear coming out from Exodus to make sure that is left out of the way. And an even better clear over to Kumar. He's not going to be able to get that redirect though.
Nice touch there by Sour just to alleviate some pressure, but only as far as Chris, who does manage to get an air dribble past the defender and the ground pinch as well. Relentless starting off in a good fashion.
Yeah, look at this one. He takes that. He ground pinch, well, somewhat of a ground pinch. I mean, that puts a lot of power towards that goal, and I don't think that was expected from the Southern Stars. A huge play from Relentless as they take it a goal up with 30 seconds into the game.
All right, here we go as we get started again. Only 30 seconds of gameplay down. A very risky touch there by String, but it was awkward enough to catch the attacker off guard. And now we have Relentless coming through with the counter-attack. Exodus taking a touch into the middle. Maybe a few too many touches. His teammates were there for support, but couldn't find them. And it comes out with a shot from Kevin. Now String being in a good place at the right time. But, unfortunately for Kevin, just drift a little bit too far. But no, it actually works out for the Stars. String coming through and capitalizing on some awkward play. And he equalizes very early.
Yeah, lucky Kevin was there to be able to touch that one down for a beautiful spot for String to be able to take that one and put them at an even scoreline 1-1. They're doing really well to send all 3 members up, but again, I'm a little bit worried about the counter-attack from the Relentless side.
Yeah, the counter-attack from Relentless has been pretty dangerous, so it's now up to the Stars to mitigate all of that pressure as best as possible. Don't give any time and space to this team, who have been very, very strong, as we see some really interesting plays coming through. A triple commit on that save, but luckily Sour was able to take possession of the ball quickly and move the ball upfield. It's now going to be String trying to go for an infield pass. Kevin's there. The challenge from X is good though. He keeps the ball locked in, although nice pinch by Sour, but unfortunately no one there from his team to capitalize.
That ball's popped up. A dangerous spot to be able to put that one in, but no one on the side of Relentless was there to be able to do anything with that. Kevin, great rotations to get somewhat of a clear going. Good passing plays coming out from them as well. That's off the backboard. They weren't ready for that though.
All right, Exodus getting a touch into an awkward position. Chris with no boost, forced to make a touch, but Kuma, great support to come through as well. And now it's going to be a beautiful touch there by, I believe it was Sour. Could have possibly been String as well. I'm not sure with the dominance, but they did manage a touch forward. But now it's Stars on the back foot. Kuma slow playing this one. Odd choice to go for as we now have a bit of an overcommit. And Chris can't quite get to the ball. String takes advantage and the Stars take the lead in game 4.
Yeah, that was a beautiful demo. Double commit coming out from the front on the side of Relentless. And he did spawn in somewhat in time and get a almost a good save on the pre-flip, but unfortunately he wasn't there quick enough. And they do come up, Southern Stars do come up with a 1-goal advantage.
So this is not a comfortable position to be in for Relentless. They do have the series lead, but they're currently trailing in game number 4 by 1 goal as we near the halfway mark. Kuma putting the ball up very high. Chris getting the spike down. Perfectly executed play from the Relentless team. After being down 1 goal, they are able to equalize exactly at the halfway mark.
Yeah, it was an awkward spot for Chris to be able to get that one, but the mechanical player himself is going to be able to take that one away. It's a high ball. Not many of us would have been able to get those, but Chris isn't one of those players. He takes every opportunity he can, and now Relentless on the back foot.
They are indeed, especially with the way Kuma is challenging this ball. It looks very dangerous in the middle, but Chris takes full advantage of the misplay and is able to snipe out a goal after being so far away. It just seems like Stars were kept sleeping, and Chris takes full advantage and reclaims the lead.
Honestly, I am in 100% agreement calling that one a snipe. That was a beautiful ball. It was fast, it was accurate, and it did the job. A beautiful play coming out from the side of Relentless to be able to get that one and bring themselves out on top with 2 minutes remaining.
Okay, a couple of lead changes here for the teams, which is very uncomfortable to move forward, but String managing a save there keeps them at bay for the time being, and it's going to be actually a double whiff there. Too fast for the challenge, although Kevin now takes advantage of it. String passing it down, forces a touch by Kuma, who can't quite get the read, but that will work out in favor. Oh no, again, we've seen Stars overcommit in this very awkward situation. They have to manage a good touch, and it seems like for now they do, as Kevin getting a nice little EU clear, going all the way across the field, but Kuma already in the position to catch that, and it seems like Relentless for now will have the rotation to stop out this attack.
Yeah, I mean, hard commit coming out from String, but the challenges definitely will be in a good spot if they do manage to land one of those. But Kuma, beautiful spot off the backboard, trying to get a dribble. He isn't going to be able to fall out String, though, as he reads that one.
Ooh, nice touch there by String. He cleared a lot of pressure in one instance, and this is where Stars can now capitalize. He puts it on the backboard, but nobody, again, from the Stars willing to commit to that play. A bit of awkwardness coming on the goal line, although String does take a shot. Sal with the follow. Kevin is on the backboard in a bit of an awkward situation, but they are going to look to full return and try and reclaim some recovery in their rotation. Kevin missing that ball, puts him in an awkward spot, but it's going to be Chris popping it up nice and high for String, who does go for the clear, connects with Kevin. So on the backboard, can they get the read? He does! What a double coming from the Stars!
Yeah, that was a massive play coming out from the Southern Stars. Look at this. Kevin getting it off the backboard. A beautiful touch to get it past one of the players on the side of Relentless as well. Taking the beautiful shot. A beautiful amount of pace as well. Bringing them to a 3-for-3 even scoreline. 45 seconds left on the clock.
And this game is starting to heat up. Like we said, everything is on the line, but more so for the Stars. They still have this match and another to play if they manage to get the win. But time will be the biggest factor. 30 seconds remaining. String decided to go for a slow play, trying to catch them sleeping, but couldn't quite get the read that he wants. The no boost on the side of Southern Stars is dangerous. We see Kuma missing the shot. Chris with the follow, and now they have the lead once more after some interesting decision making here from the Stars. With only 19 seconds left, this is looking very dire.
That was a great intentional whiff coming out from Kuma. Looked like he was going to go for that double touch off the backboard. It's like, nah, I'm going to leave this for my teammate. Taking that one with a 15 seconds left. Exodus trying to get another double off. He's not going to be able to read that one, but his teammates are there for that one as well.
All right, final dying seconds in this match. We're on 5 seconds now. Stars having possession. They're moving the ball into the right side of the field. Kevin again with the double. He leaves it. That's a massive clear. All the Stars challenging for the ball, and that will be all that she wrote. Unfortunately for the Stars, Relentless are going to be through, but for Relentless, very well played. It did look a little bit shaky there in game number 3. They dropped a series point, but they managed to claw their way back and get that win there, especially through the likes of Chris, who led every single goal in that 4th match. He managed to get 4 goals, 3 saves, 4 shots. Beautiful play coming from him, and it just seems Relentless seemed to have the extra pressure they needed in game number 4 to secure that victory.
But it's been really, really close between these two teams, and every time Southern Stars have fallen behind, they've only been 1 goal behind. They've only managed to fall behind in just that last dying second, that last minute. They're just like, oh no. Relentless are going to be able to take these ones and clutch it out with this last game. So unfortunately, the Southern Stars, even though they played a beautiful game, unfortunately, they do get taken out by Relentless, and Relentless move on to take on Hazard.
Exactly. And this is a gauntlet format, ladies and gentlemen, which means that for Relentless to have a shot at the first place prize pool, they need to go through first Hazard and then Max's Rancid Ratch, which, just for your information, have gone through undefeated through the entire round robin series. So looking very, very strong for their first place finish. But we are going to take a bit of a break, give some breathing time for Relentless after clutching out that victory before they take on Hazard. So don't go anywhere. Short break. We'll be right back with the action.